To create a new table report in CAS, click on the folder in which you would like to create the new report, right-click, select New, Report, Table Report. Right-click on the new item and go down to Properties. This window represents the contents of this icon, Sample Strats. Here you can type in various properties that can be displayed in the report, such as the title, subtitle, select the page setup. Here, I'm just going to put in a title for the report, Sample Strats. Then go to the Column Statistics tab. And it's possible within CAS Strat reports to define column statistics once on sort of a top level. So you're creating a default set of statistics that will then apply to each individual frequency item that you create. So to do that, I'm just going to put in some column stats here: count, balance, percent, and whack. Select a format string that you'd like to use to display each of these values. There are a few default format strings available in the drop-down list, or select F3 on the keyboard to bring up the format string builder. The default string that pops up is I10. That's just an integer, 10 wide. Here, let's increase the width a little bit, and we'll also insert commas. So here you can see an unformatted number and what it looks like after applying this format string here. So this is just a comma separated integer. Click OK. For balance, I'll do the same thing. Hit F3 on the keyboard, increase the width a little bit, throw in a couple decimal places here so the prefix changes from I to F, that's integer, to float. You can see how many decimal places will be displayed. Then also check off insert commas. Once you're comfortable with the format strings, you can just type these things in. So I'll do 2 decimal places for the percent, and then 3 decimal places for the weighted average coupon. In the expression column, this is where we're actually going to write calculations to generate each of these values here. Until you get comfortable with the function names and the syntax that you need to use with those functions, you can press F3 on the keyboard. Anywhere in CAS you can fill in an expression, and a CAS expression builder pops up. Here we can put in the function we want to use, count loan ID, test this expression before we try to run it. Looks good. Click OK. And we'll go down and write a calculation for balance. So you can test each expression through the expression builder if you like. Once you're comfortable with the function names and the syntax you want to use, you can go ahead and just type them in. So here I'll say total Kerbal, percent Kerbal, and then let's do a non-zero weighted average rate weighted by the balance field. Okay, so defining column stats by itself is not going to do anything, as you'll notice when I click run here. To get individual frequency reports to appear within a set of strats, you need to go to the items tab, and let's say we wanted strats with 2 frequencies. You can create 2 new items by right clicking. I'll just rename the first item balance. Second item I will rename as state. And we'll do a third one. Let's do zip code. Okay. Go to the properties of each item and select the field that you'd like to report on. So here I'll pick Kerbal. You can put in a title that will be displayed in the report. So let's put in current balance. And since there are a few ways that you can create a break value within a table report, you need to tell CAS what you want to use to apply that break. So here we want to use the field as the break value. So where it says apply, just select field. And since this is a numeric field, we probably want to range the data. So we'll just go to the range tab and put in our from, to, and by values. So let's do from 0 to 300,000 by 50,000. Apply the regular range, just telling CAS here, use this range style here as opposed to a custom range or a date. Click OK. Go in and modify the properties for state. Put in a description. Apply a field. Click OK. after we put in the state value. And zip code, we'll go to properties, and let's just look at the top 10 zip codes. So our field we're using is zip, and we can utilize this top feature. So I'll just turn this little checkbox on and say, give me the top 10 based on Kerbal. Again, apply the field, click OK, run, and here we have our new output. And we are just displaying these results in HTML because it's fast to get up on your screen. If you actually print this out or run this as a PDF, you can see what it'll actually look like when you run it or print it and save it as a file. If we run this to Excel, bring this over to the screen. This is what you get without any additional formatting. If you wanted to have a different set of column statistics for each item, you can do that as well. So going back to the beginning of this tutorial, I indicated that you can put some default column statistics on this tab right here. But within each item, going to properties, there is also a column stats tab. So let's just say that I wanted to see count, balance, and percentage of owner-occupied properties versus percentage investment properties. Again, you can press F3 here for a format string builder, or once you're comfortable, just go ahead and type in the format strings. I'm just going to type them in. And here we'll do count, loan ID, total, Kerbal, and I'm going to press F3 here, and I'm going to use this PCT function for percentage. So I'm just going to take a look at the help here. Let's do PCT Kerbal, where the occupancy status is either primary or second. And if you're not sure what values are in the field you're using to calculate the percentage, you can highlight the field in the field list here and click on the field details button, and you'll get some information about that particular field. So you get a quick frequency distribution, and you can see that there are 3 values in that field, I, P, and S. Here we can test the calculation. We get approximately 83.76% owner-occupied. Click OK. And here I can just copy and paste this down. And to give me the inverse of my selection, I can just use the not function and just say not ONOC in P or S. So as soon as you start typing anything in here on this column stats tab for an individual item, the zip item, it's going to ignore, CAS is going to ignore any items or column statistics that you've defined on this top level. So click OK, and now we run our output. Again, this ran to Excel. And here we can see our default column statistics, count, balance, percent, and WAC. And then if we scroll down a little bit here, you can see the individual column statistics we've defined for just the zip codes item. Count, balance, percent, owner occupied versus percent investment property. So using that PCT function, we calculate the values based on 100% of the loans in that particular row. And of course, anytime you finish working on an item, click OK and save the file.